Oh boy! 2020 has started off pretty rough for me. We started off the year with my Instagram getting hacked and then losing my Instagram account for like a couple of days. Not the best situation, not ideal, but it got sorted. Wednesday night, I saw that you could apply for an official artist YouTube page if you're a musician, blah, 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 blah. Through your distributor, you can apply for it, and it'll give you the little music sign next to your name. It'll take the pure music YouTube channel that you have, that every artist has, and it combines it into your channel. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. Let's try it. And I applied for that, and then I went off the computer, went to sleep. Literally the next morning, Thursday morning, I wake up, look at my phone, and I get an email from YouTube that says, due to multiple copyright strikes, we would like to inform you that your account has been deleted. You cannot make a new one. If you'd like to appeal, click here. It was like very like robotic. I literally jumped out of bed. I jumped the hell out of bed, half asleep, and then all of a sudden I was awake. I didn't even go to my computer. I started hitting the appeal right on my phone. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. I have 0 out of 3 copyright strikes on my YouTube account, so there should be no reason why this should be happening. I know what YouTube's policy is for copyright and all that stuff. I make it a point not to abuse it, not to get any copyright strikes. I make it a point to stay good with YouTube and follow their procedures, follow their community guidelines. Because, I mean, ultimately, believe it or not, I love YouTube. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I watch videos on YouTube all the time, a lot more than I should. I procrastinate on YouTube. Just like everybody else, I'm on here a lot. But, you know, as I was filling out this application, the appeal for their decision, I just couldn't even understand what happened. Why was my account deleted? It made no sense to me. I tried to appeal a second time, like on the same link, and they're like, we already got one from you. They literally said that, like, we already have one from you. We're processing it. Just wait. That sucked. But what sucked more is, like, I didn't even understand, how did I get flagged? Why did I get flagged? Why did I get deleted? Why was there no warning? Usually you're supposed to get 3 strikes and you're out. I had 0 strikes and I was terminated. That's ridiculous. The thing that really just sucked was the waiting. I was unable to ask anybody in YouTube for an explanation because they don't have a support line. They don't have an email support staff. If you appeal their decision and then they review your appeal and go, actually, we think that us terminating you was just and fair. There's no, like, you don't take it to the Supreme Court. It ends there. That's it. You're gone. You're done. It's over. So that was kind of worrying. And just the waiting from appeal to hearing what their response to the appeal was kind of difficult. It was just unneeded stress, especially during this time that we're all living in, where everyone's stressed. This is particularly stressful for me, obviously, because I am a music artist and I need YouTube. I wanted to get serious with my YouTubing, as it were, just engage with you guys through YouTube as well. I understand it's their platform and they can do whatever they want with their platform. They can bring on whoever they want. They can kick off whoever they want. I understand that. I get that. I'm in support of that kind of law. When you set rules and you make a system of rules. For me, I was following all of those rules. It's like if somebody says, hey, here are our rules, you know, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not disrespect your parents. You're still keeping up with all those rules, but one day you decide to jaywalk and they throw you in jail for jaywalking. You're like, wait, that's not in, what happened here? I was kind of preparing for the worst. I was basically accepting that it was not going to come back, that the channel was going to be terminated, that whatever mistake it was, they probably won't admit that it was a mistake. Basically, I was getting ready for me to never be on YouTube again. I didn't want to get my hopes up and then be surprised when I received the email that says, yeah, actually, we reviewed it and we don't want you back. Again, I put in a lot of time and effort and work into my videos and songs to be able to share them on YouTube, and I met a lot of people through YouTube, but I was just getting ready for it because it was something that was just so out of my hands, out of my control. And then I spoke with some people on Instagram who reached out to me. One of them, actually, Satya, she said, you know, you should probably post something on like Instagram and then tag them and ask your followers, your friends, everybody to tag YouTube and YouTube creators, tag them in the comments so that they could see your post and do something about it, just to bring awareness to it. And so I did that. A lot of people, and thank you to everybody who did this, tagged YouTube creators, YouTube music. Everybody tagged on Instagram, some on Twitter even, and on Facebook. It was very sweet, and I thank each and every one of you who did that. That was such a huge help, because 3 hours later, I've been waiting like a whole day after I did my appeal, no response. 3 hours from that post, I get an email that says, we reviewed your appeal, your channel's back up, and I'm like, oh crap, oh wow. That's cool. That's great. I didn't get an explanation why it was deleted, and I didn't get an explanation why it was put back on. I didn't get any explanation. So I'm thinking, okay, well, let's just count our blessings. We got the channel back. let's move forward. I was very, very, very moved to see that it meant so much to all of you guys that you did tag them, that you did go out of your way to sort of help me out with this, and it worked. I'm a little musician in my corner here going like, hey, what happened to my channel? And then there's like all you guys behind me going like, hey, what happened to his channel? And then it got their attention and it worked. I was just happy that I got my channel back, right? But then I started logging onto my channel. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but if you are a creator on YouTube, meaning if you're an artist or you're a vlogger, you have access to something called YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio is basically the background and the analytics. It shows you all the data of your channel, who's seeing your comments, who's commenting, and it basically shows you all like the business stuff and the numbers. The whole YouTube Studio analytics was gone to me. I tried clicking it, I tried accessing it, and it didn't work. I wasn't able to see what my analytics were. I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're not accessible to me for now. Maybe they will be once my account is back up and everything's sorted. Maybe this is just some sort of transitional thing where, okay, we deleted you. You got to give us some time to get your information back on the system, blah, blah, blah. Late last night, I was just looking on YouTube to see like if my videos were coming up on YouTube search, if you search them, and they did. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Okay, so my videos are back. I clicked on one of them. The comments are still there, which is good. I'm like, oh, cool. But I'm like, wait, something doesn't look right. And I'm like, I feel like I responded to these. And I keep scrolling, and I see there's no response. And I keep scrolling, and then I realize, oh, wow. Every comment that I responded on or responded to has, like, my responses have been deleted. Every response I posted. Even on other people's videos, any response or any comment that I put on YouTube was deleted. I'm okay if they delete my videos. Obviously, I'd be upset. But I have those videos saved. Do you know what I mean? I don't rely on YouTube as like a hard drive. Even if all of YouTube went down and YouTube was no more, I still have my videos. And I could post them on Vimeo, I could post them on Facebook, I could post them on Instagram, I could post them anywhere else in the world. What really hurt me was that they deleted my comments to everybody who commented on my video. That actually felt like an attack. They didn't do it on purpose, I guess, but the fact that it's an accident is terrible enough. And I spoke to some people about this, and they were like, well, you know, it's just comments. It's not, in the bigger picture, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, no, that is everything, right? Because I literally, honest to God, I take pride in the fact that I always make time for anybody who makes time for me. If you took a minute to listen to my music, to watch a music video, to comment on either a song or a video, on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, even on my Instagram posts, if you took a moment out of your life and you took the air that you breathe and you used it to fill up your brain with oxygen enough to formulate a thought that you wanted to share back at me, and you wrote down something to me on a comment, that means a lot to me. From day freaking one, my whole mission, my whole purpose in YouTube, on Spotify, in music, my whole purpose in life is to remind people there are reasons to stay alive. There are reasons to continue living. There is such thing as looking forward to tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying I'm a great guy. I'm a fantastic person. What I am saying is that I do try, and I try every day, and I make it an effort, and I make it a point to try to be a better person, or at least a decent person every day. Because sometimes you can be somebody's reason for living. Sometimes you could show somebody through your actions, through your kindness, that there is a reason to live and that you're there for them. You can't necessarily change the world, I should say, but you could change the world for somebody. That's a very sort of small way of saying whenever I comment back, it's kind of me doing that. It's kind of me letting people know, like, thank you, I see you, and I want you to know that. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you like I have 1,000 comments on every video. I don't. Some videos have no comments. And in last night, I was kind of thankful for that, believe it or not. This is YouTube. This is an ocean of content, an ocean of videos. You could have watched anything in the world, and for this 5 to 7 minutes, you chose to watch my piece of content, and you chose to comment and like and subscribe. The least I could do is say thank you for relating to me and what I say. To see it all disappear was like seeing all my efforts and all my work gone. At that point, I couldn't believe it. I was upset. I was shocked. I was angry. Thank God I came across that when I did. Had I realized that a day later or a week later or a month later, then I started thinking, man, how many people in that time frame where I don't notice it, how many of them would come onto my channel who didn't know me before? They liked the song, they liked the video, but they see that I'm like not responding to anybody's comments, and I'm separating, like I'm putting a wall between myself and like the audience, how many people see that and go like, what's this guy's deal? At that moment, I'm so wired up, so filled with anger, so filled with just craziness that I'm like, I can't go to sleep right now. If I go to bed right now, all those comments and all those people that I commented on, the fact that they're just gone, it's just going to be rotating in my head. I won't be able to go to sleep. I have to respond to these comments now. That's the only way I'll be able to rest. From 1 a.m. to about 4 a.m., nothing but responses to every comment on every video all over again. I don't think this is inherently something that's wrong with YouTube. I don't think YouTube is a terrible platform. It's something that's kind of like the music industry. Did you hear how I just said it? The music industry? What the hell was that? That's kind of like the music industry. The music industry. It's the music industry. It's copyright law. It's really affecting things. It's really changing things. And YouTube doesn't want to deal with record label lawyers, publishing lawyers. And rightfully so. They don't have to. Unfortunately, that means they kind of put the onus onto the creator. And I'd understand if I were, making a lot of money off of this. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not. Here's another kicker. There's also a thing called YouTube partner verification. There's a YouTube partner program. Prior to this whole thing, I was a YouTube partner, meaning I'm officially like recognized by YouTube as like a person who's doing it. I don't know what the YouTube partner is really, but it means like I could get like ads on my videos. It means like I'm just, watch out for me or something. When you're YouTube partner verified, that gives you access to certain things like a live stream, like a chat thing or whatever. On my account, when I look at the back end of my account, it still says I have 0 out of 3 copyright strikes, 0 out of 3 warnings, and I'm partner verified. Some of the extra features that come with being a YouTube verified partner are not accessible to me. So I reach out. I found out yesterday that there is a YouTube artist's email for people who are YouTube verified partners. I reach out to that email and I get a response back saying, sorry, we can't help you. You're not a verified YouTube partner. I read that letter and I look at my YouTube page where it says YouTube verified partner. And then I read their email that says you are not a YouTube verified partner. I'm like, what is going on? I'm literally being gaslit by Google and YouTube. I don't understand this. You know what it is? I feel like this is YouTube. They take my hand and they're like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. And I'm like, bro, no more. Jesus Christ, no more. I'm being put in front of a certain kind of adversity, a certain kind of difficulty. It's more problematic than it is traumatic, but it's still pretty stressful. Life is 10% of things that just randomly happen to you and 90% of how you respond to those 10% of things. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am dusting myself off, doing it again, and moving forward. So if this is my last will and testament and my channel gets deleted again for absolutely no reason, please don't lose contact with me because I don't want to lose contact with you. Sign up to my mailing list. Sign up to the Facebook page. It's all down below in the description of the video. Instagram, I'm everywhere. We also have a United States only, unfortunately for now, merch store where you can get official Spells and Curses merch, t-shirts, music. And I was also working on an international merch store, but you could only have an international merch store and push it through YouTube if you're a YouTube verified partner, which I am, but YouTube's telling me I'm not, so I have to figure that out. Music. I'd appreciate any support. But I will say thank you for all the support you have been giving me. It means a lot. I love you guys all so much. And it is what it is. So, quick update as of July 19th. I was hit up today by somebody who told me to check out my YouTube because the comments were back, which was incredible. And that just goes to show when you make enough noise, people will listen. That huge issue is fixed. However, there's still the issue of the artist verified features that aren't working, but I'm sure I'm going to get that sorted because got to give credit where it's due. YouTube's been kind of incredible about making this right. I would also like to add one thing. Right now we're seeing an example of a system that had a flaw, that's somebody presenting that screw over to the system and the system fixing it. A lot of times when there are systems in place that screw somebody over, it is the responsibility of that system to fix itself, because the only thing that the people that were quote unquote screwed over, all that they could do is bring awareness to the issues within the system. So again, I have to give props where it's due, and YouTube showing how it's done, what it looks like to make amends when your system is broken. And if there are any other systems out there that need to take note on how it's done, you can kind of take a look at this.
And for everyone else, this should serve as a reminder to not ever stay silent about broken systems. Either way, again, thank you to everybody who helped out and amplified my voice with yours. This has been a really interesting past couple of days, but I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.